Hello all, this is Nandhini, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science at Dr. SNS Rajlakshmi College of Arts and Science. Now we are going to discuss about spiral model in software process model. So let's we discuss. So the spiral model, which is described by Boehm in 1986 as a risk-driven software development process model, so which was introduced for dealing with the shortcomings in the traditional waterfall model. So the spiral model looks like a spiral with many loops. The exact number of loops of the spiral is unknown and can vary from project to project. And this model supports risk handling, and the project is delivered in loops. So each loop of the spiral is called as a phase of the software development process. So this is the small introduction about spiral model. So the spiral model in initial phase, it is the early stages of the waterfall life cycle, so that is needed to develop a software product. So the exact number of phases they are needed to develop the product, and it can be varied by the project manager and depending upon the project risk. So as the project manager dynamically determines the number of phases, so the project manager has an important role to develop a product using the spiral model. So this is the various phases of spiral model. So it is classified into five phases. So there are planning, risk analysis, engineering, evaluation, and the last stage is planning iteration. So the first one is planning. So the first phase of the spiral model is the planning phase, where the scope of the project is determined and a plan is created for the next iteration of the spiral. And the second phase is risk analysis. So in the risk analysis phase, the risk is associated with the projects and to identify and evaluate it. And the third phase is engineering. So in this phase, the software is developed which is based on the requirements gathering in the previous iterations. And the fourth phase is evaluation. So in this evaluation phase, the software is evaluated to determine if it meets the customer's requirements and if it is of a high quality. And the last stage is new planning phase, that is, this is the next iteration of the spiral, so which is begins with the new planning phase when it is based on the results of the evaluation. So these are the various phases of spiral model. So this is the diagram of spiral model. So it has a four part. So the first part is represent the objectives determination and identify the alternative solutions. And the second part is identify and resolve risk. And the third stage is develop next version of the product. And the last part is represent the review and plan for a next phase. So the each phase of the spiral model, which is divided into four quadrants. So the first one is objectives determined and identify alternative solutions. So this requirements gathered from the customers and the objectives are defined, elaborated and analyzed at the start of every phases. So then alternative solutions possible for the phase are proposed in this quadrant. And the second stage is identify and resolve the risk. So during the second quadrant, all the possible solutions are evaluated and to select the best possible solutions. So then the risk is associated with the solutions. So that solutions are identified and the risk is identified, then it resolved using the best possible strategy. So at the end of this quadrant, the prototype is built for the best possible solutions. And the third stage is develop the next version of the product. So during this stage, the identify the features are developed and verified through testing. So at the end of the third quadrant, the next version of the software is available. So in the last fourth quadrant is review and plan of the next phase. So the customers are evaluated and so far the developed version of the software. So in the end, the planning for the next phase is started. So these are the four quadrants of spiral model. So this is the assessment and these are the reference. Thank you.